Butler.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr Deputy Speaker. It is a pleasure to speak in this debate on a bill which is really at the heart of the Conservative Party's commitment to deliver for each and every constituency in the country. Levelling up and regeneration have the power to drive progress and prosperity in areas that have long been neglected. The place we live should not determine our opportunity or our life chances, our health or our life expectancy. And as a result of that, there is a great deal to commend in this comprehensive bill. I'm very grateful to ministers in the department for listening to the widespread concern about the designation of growth zones. These would undoubtedly have put pressure on our precious green spaces. Many of my constituents contacted me to say how worried they were that these zones would have been imposed on them, irrespective of local circumstances and bereft of local democratic accountability. I'm glad they are no more. I'm especially pleased to see the introduction of a new infrastructure levy. Aylesbury is no stranger to development. The town has grown massively since I was born there some 50-odd years ago. But what is rather less familiar to the people of Aylesbury are sufficient levels of funding for the infrastructure to support the new houses and the people coming to live in them. Development has to work for all, both old and new residents. That means GP surgeries, schools and roads must be completed at the same time as houses, not after they are occupied. With further huge housing growth on the cards for Aylesbury in the next 20 years, our already stretched public services will simply not be able to cope without radical improvements to our local infrastructure. So I was absolutely delighted to hear the Secretary of State say this afternoon that the new infrastructure levy will be, in his word, inescapable. Mr Deputy Speaker, Aylesbury is a great place to live, work, visit and invest. But it is no exaggeration to say that it is a town of two halves. People in Bedgrove and Fairford Lees live longer, healthier and wealthier lives than those in Quarrendon, Southcourt and Gatehouse. We have entrenched pockets of deprivation where outcomes in education, in health and in income are far below those in other parts of the town and in other parts of the country, including much further north. For example, only 49.7% of children in Aylesbury North West achieve the expected standard in reading, writing and maths at Key Stage 2. The government's ambition is 90% nationally by 2030, so there is clearly an enormous gap to bridge. And for that reason, I firmly believe that levelling up must apply to the whole of the country, wherever it is needed, whether that's in the north, the Midlands or the south. For Aylesbury to flourish, we need to be able to compete on a fairer footing with towns in other parts of the country when it comes to funding from central government. If I can put it this way, we need a level playing field to level up. We do not expect the government to do all the work, let alone provide all the money. Far from it. Buckinghamshire Council has strong and exciting plans for regeneration of Aylesbury Town Centre. We've seen what can be done with the excellent Exchange Quarter. We have a dynamic, able and willing private sector, local entrepreneurs with imagination who are investing in local businesses. Our Garden Town Master Plan will open up the town centre, making it more accessible with cycleways and walkways, greenways and blueways, truly bringing natural beauty into the heart of Aylesbury. In fact, all of this is going to prove so popular for visitors, so irresistible, that we're going to need to find more ways to get them there. So if I could encourage my friend, the Minister, to encourage his friends in the Department for Transport to give a little nudge on the Aylesbury link of East-West Rail, that would be very welcome. There are some railways in my constituency and in my county that we would really like to see. Mr Deputy Speaker, in conclusion, creating the opportunity for people to succeed in the life they choose is core to the reason I'm a Conservative. This bill is a step in the right direction and I will enthusiastically vote for it.